As ancient people became the likes of fishermen or farmers, they began to barter. But as they tried to scale this idea, they realized their goods would spoil or be lost. Thankfully, early on, humans created a store of value in things like cowrie shells. They could now trade and use the shells as a placeholder of value. But because cowrie were abundant and infinitely available, they lost all value. We tried many other things before creating the gold standard, but that even proved to be difficult and expensive. Today, we trade with bills, cards, and even cryptocurrency. First, let's take a look at banknotes. These were a simple IOU, certifying you held an amount of gold in a bank. However, these came at a cost as well and actually devalue your original money. Currently, this is the most widely used cost-effective version of a Layer 2. The bank account you hold and all other transactions you make all incur fees that all lead back to the bank. You are essentially asking and paying for permission to use your money. That's one of the ways banks make money. With cash, it's very little cost except until you try to exchange back to gold. But who are we kidding? It's not very scalable either. Next, we'll talk about checks. These are an additional layer on top of the cash layer. Keep in mind, all layers take a fee. Checks are second in cost effectiveness and are very scalable, but extremely lack security. Costs of a check average 40 cents, where there isn't an established percentage fee. But that leads me to the next form of currency, the debit and credit cards. Debit and credit cards are another layer on top of cash. Again, you're now asking for and paying for permission to use your cash. Even though you, as a patron, may not see the fee listed on your receipt, the marketplace eats the cost and increases the cost of the product to cover the loss. So again, this devalues the original purchasing power in an exponential way. Let's start with $100. Remove 3.5% and give it to the point of sale corporate bank. You'll be left with $96.50. But then this market owner goes to get her hair cut. That's another 3.5% and on and on. But that original $100 reduced by 3.5% after 10 transactions is no longer $100. It is now only $70. This transfer of wealth happens all day, and we have no idea or care in the world about it. Enter Bitcoin. Originally intended to be a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash that allows online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. The main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required. Plus again, a second layer will reduce the value. So again, you are trusting and paying for permission to use your cash. Confused yet? Exactly, but it's so easy.
Just take your dollars from your bank electronically and send them to your exchange of choice. Then move it to a wallet that can bridge your Bitcoin using a Layer 2 network that is faster.
And then on the other end, it's bridged back out later to the other person's wallet. No worries. Then they use their exchange to transfer to their cold wallet. And then back to their bank and their currency. Simple.
Yeah, exactly. You see, this is where we lose adoption. Nobody wants to pay to jump through hoops. To compete with the big banks like Visa or MasterCard, etc., we need fast, secure, scalable digital currency. With the advent of smartphones, QR codes, and tap to pay, these integrations are just around the corner. But we need a currency that is capable. Still in its infancy, Kaspa has the ability to turn crypto on its head. This was not to be a technical video, but more for common folks to grasp the idea and revisit the possibilities of crypto. This is not financial advice, so do your own research and make sure you study Kaspa.